starting the political and or ethical value of the artists and their artwork, starting off with Shireen Nashat. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. With the first question being, why do they make their artwork? Well, with this particular person, they make their artwork because at the time she explained that there was a revolution going on where it created a divide between herself and her family while she was being in the Western country. And at this time, she didn't see them within 12 years. And that became a turning point in her foundations of her feelings and thinking in her work because of that separation of being away from Iran and her family for so long. It was starting to be a detachment, but she was still continuing to try to still incorporate her cultural values in her life while being in the Western country. The next question, what are they thinking of when they are creating? Well, mostly when she's creating, she's thinking more poetically than artist than artistically. That's the word. And she states that her being an artist is still a mystery to her. She still doesn't know how this came upon her because her family background isn't so much into art, but it was something that was just intriguing to her. She also says that art is a way for her to be able to express herself and her most inner and outer worlds connect. She is also connecting her Iranian culture to her art as well. But she also states how her artwork is changing from the separation of Iran. She states that she is she's still doing Iranian art, but she's trying to make a transition into maybe doing her art in more Western. But she's not going to completely cut off her Iranian culture, but she is making a change because she states that her artwork changes as she changes, which I totally agree with her because my art does the same way, so I feel the same way when she says that. Next question, how does their work and words impact viewers of the work? Their work can impact viewers because there are other cultural people that are out here in this world that do face separation between them and their home country. Once they leave from it, there are other people that can relate to her. Because there is other people that come from Africa, Asia, Europe, and they're struggling the same thing with keeping up their cultural values, but also living abroad, away from home. So I feel that she is a good model or representation of those people and a voice for them as well on how they feel. And the last question, what was the impact of their words and their work on you, which would be me? For me, I really like how she said art helps express oneself, because it's true. Art really is another outlet for an artist to express themselves other than writing it out. It gives a visual on how somebody feels. And it does connect, how she says, our inner and outer worlds together. She is definitely a voice that represents people of cultural background and can relate to them as well. Right, moving on to another great artist, which is Julie Meretu. And starting off with the first question, why do they make their artwork? Well, she makes her artwork for a political reason and standpoint, trying to show the political flaws that are happening today. Her work is also mapping and architectural. What are they thinking of when they create? Well, they are thinking of the dense social networks in society and rendering those architectural, I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, pieces, and her work is more engaged in history of non-objective art. Their work impacts viewers because it gets them to think about today's situations that are going on and getting to interpret that through her artwork. there's a lot that's going on today and that has affected a lot of people, and her work voices that for people in a unique way, since her work is more not so much objective, it's non-objective. So it gets people thinking and getting them to interpret what they see when she does do her artwork, since it is more abstract, but it still has that architectural and mapping feel to it. I do really like how her work is historical and non-objective, because it does give the viewer um, to think about what they are seeing, and they get to interpret what they feel with the art and express their emotions and how they feel. It gives them room to not be stuck in a box of their emotions, knowing what they see. This they have to really interpret and take in consideration of what they think this may be off of the title that they see, and then interpreting that back to their own lives maybe, or again how they think or feel. I also like how it does spark a conversation between other people, and I also like how she states there is no such thing as just landscape. The actual landscape is politicized through the events that take place on it. That really made me think when she said that, because it's so true. And this is the end of my video.